What's happening, sports fans? Welcome back to another episode of San Diego Prep Insider. Let's do the swipe left to reveal our studio guests are the Bishop's Knights. Ever the program-wide self-promoters. They have brought both the guys and girls team because they're always here to remind you that they win championships. Let's go through, introduce yourselves, name, grade, position, please. We'll start with you, Coach. For you, name and how many years and how many titles?
Not sure the exact amount of titles, but Doug Peabody, coaching at Bishop's the last 25 years. It's my 25th boys season, and having a great time still coaching this group of guys. And yep.
So, Coach, we have we like to run polls here a lot on our social media. If you don't mind, I'm going to put it on our poll at SD Prep Insider. If you have forgotten how many titles you have won, do you have too many titles? We will maybe figure that out, maybe not. Can you take even a rough guess? Is it somewhere in the triple digits, double digits?
I think it's about 17 girls titles and 10 boys titles, including the last 2 boys titles in the Open Division.
And you have the potential to win 2 titles in the 2021 year. We will get to that. There will be plenty of time. Let's continue our introductions, please.
Max Stone, senior. I'm a center. I'm Mark Stone, not related, but also a senior, and I'm an attacker.
I'm Garrett Johnson, definitely have no relation, and I'm a guard.
I'm Emmy Peabody. There is relation. And I am a 1-2 side attacker with the girls team.
So you guys are just over 2 weeks now? Been together 3 weeks? The team's fully, you know what you got this year? How are things looking?
Yeah, things are looking good. We scrimmaged against Carlsbad yesterday, and I think we did pretty well. I think the guys had a good opportunity to see where they were. We played in the Draz Classic against Grossmont last Saturday, and yesterday on Wednesday we scrimmaged Carlsbad. So I think we have one more scrimmage this weekend going up to J. Sarah. So we're pretty excited to see how we're rolling. We had some guys visiting some colleges and looking around and looking at other things. So we finally got together.
Because you guys are the seniors, so any of you out there looking at colleges on that trip?
I think all 3 of these guys would like to go play water polo in college.
May I ask what colleges, or are we not at that point in the process?
I don't know that we're that point in the process, but they're definitely looking to play.
Yeah, I think for most of us, it's still really open with what colleges we're looking at and who we're talking to, and we.
But you guys actually physically visited them. All of them official visits, none of them official visits, taking the self-guided tours, because I am just curious what this looks like coming kind of out of COVID now. I talked to a bunch of kids last year who were like, oh, I've never actually in person met anybody in the athletic department. I've only gone on my phone and walked around the campus doing a self-guided tour. What on that spectrum were you guys able to do?
So far, I mean, I've gone on an official and like a little unofficial, like just walking around with the coach for a day.
But actually got to directly interact, meet face-to-face, not over Zoom. Like you're back to meeting with people in person?
Yes.
That's awesome.
And then I know Mark was out for a couple schools.
Yeah, I haven't gone on any official visits, but I've met with coaches and talked to them in person and seen them in tournaments and stuff too, so yeah.
Yeah, same here, just talking to coaches, getting to know more about the programs.
It's awesome that you guys are able to go back and do that, because I definitely feel for the classes last year that had to commit without ever actually having been on their campus or met their people in person. Have you had any colleges yet? Because I had this experience when I was doing, not my athletic ones, but just looking at schools, walked on the campus, knew within 2 seconds this was not going to be a fit for me. I don't fit in here. Had that experience yet?
I haven't had like the negative experience, no,
Okay.
not yet.
Well, that's awesome to hear. You guys going on more trips, or is it now time to focus on the season for a little bit?
I think right now just focusing on the season, but definitely just to come.
So I ask everybody what kind of what do you have set up for goals, especially like talking to seniors for that, because you guys want to leave a certain kind of legacy. What is what's the mindset right now going into this season? Because you guys we're talking about it before the show, shortest off season in history, and I'm assuming that meant an off season that was filled with JOs and other stuff club wise that you probably didn't really get a break. So you guys feel like you're better than ever before going into a year, setting standards higher. You're tired of water polo and you just don't want to see Doug's face ever again. Where are you guys at?
I think, without a lot of off season from club to high school, most of us are still really in shape. So we kind of got a little bit of a break lately on conditioning and practice, but we're definitely still have the same goals as every year, and that's to be the best we can be as a team and play to the highest potential possible, and I think that always leads to chasing a title.
Yeah, like going off of that, we're also, like as always, chasing another title this year, especially just coming off one not too long ago, actually like really quickly. So we're right now we're just putting in the work every day, getting after it, and working towards that goal and being the best we can be.
Yeah, I mean, just to echo what these guys said, just like putting in the work every day, doing more than just showing up, like actually taking that extra step to get better every day.
And you are a junior? Senior. So have you started this process also? Are you going to be leaving, as you call him, Douglas, next year, or are you going to be staying close to home? Have you decided yet?
I have not decided yet. My parents are really pushing to stay here.
Yeah, I was going to say, has he bribed you yet to stay? Like, what phase are we in of the college decision?
It's the whole, hey, we own a rental property on San Diego State campus. Don't gotta pay rent.
So you're not quite at like on the 5 stages of grief. Where are you in terms of you're at the bargaining and reasoning, trying to get her to stay here in San Diego?
Well, she's not chasing the water polo dream like these guys. She loves playing high school water polo, but loves playing with her teammates and her classmates at Bishop's. But I don't think she's looking to play in college. It's a big commitment, and I think she's got other focus for school moving forward. But as far as these guys training hard and what we're doing right now,
no, I was just trying to bug you as a parent. I'm trying to
change the subject as fast as I can.
That's a quick pass.
He's like, get off the burden of me being a parent. Let me go back to being a coach.
That's you trying to dump the ball into the corner, reset the shot clock, get us back on it. Fair enough. Okay.
So, dump the ball in the corner for sure. Shot clock ran out on that one.
Okay, so I will then transition. We have 3 different distinct hairstyles in here. And I heard arguments over who has best hair on the teams. That's a pretty important status symbol, or is someone out there going to take claim for best hair on the team? One of you guys going to take claim for best hair on the team? How is that decided?
I mean, I think for all of us, it's kind of more who has the worst hair on the team. I think.
Okay,
yeah, we all got the water polo hair. Like everyone that comes up.
That's not a badge of honor. I thought that was like something that you were going for.
I mean, everyone just knows it. They come up to me, oh, you must play water polo. Yeah. I'm like, oh, it was there, huh?
Yeah, most of us try to just not have a bad hair day. It's who can consistently keep their hair looking decently.
I've always interpreted as water polo players tried for that look and this is me being dead honest. I've always interpreted like that was the culture of like this. Like I do this when I'm off camera, but this was like, yeah, man, I've been hitting the pool hard lately. No, so you're saying you guys are all self-conscious and trying to be like, no, God, no. So why not just shave it then? Why not be that team?
We did one year, just as for fun. Most people did like shave their head or mullets just because we wouldn't have to worry about our hair. But I mean, most of us, we do like our hair. It's just we have to take pride in trying to not let it look ridiculous before and after practice.
It gets a tad bit out of control by the end of the day.
Yeah, totally.
Just a little.
And the chlorine damage too.
Oh yeah.
It's like with girls, you can just put a cap on it.
How long does this take for guys post water polo? Like, does it ever go away? Or coach, if we grew your hair out, it would be this.
My hair is pretty bushy when it's grown out and used to be pretty long. But in the case of these guys, for sure, Garrett did some work on his before this radio show. The razors, known for the razor stripes on the side of the head when it was freshman year when he had the really, really, really tight cut when they did shave their heads. So his nickname has stuck through him his whole career at Bishop's, the Razor. And Max, just like he's got the typical water polo hair tonight. He's like, you know what? I'm coming to this thing right after practice. No dinner, no nothing.
Hey, you guys are straight out of the pool. Yeah. I really do appreciate that.
I think it worked out for all of us so we could do it. It's their first day of school today, so they all actually.
And I would like you guys to understand just what exactly is happening right now. And this is also directed at all the fans listening to this. The first of the high school football games are kicking off right now. And I'm with you guys instead of the first normal mask-free football in 2 years. So just know that I got mad love and respect for this water polo community. Looking at your guys' schedule is part of why we have respect for this team. You guys tend to take on the biggest and baddest every year. And I don't think that that's something that people have a great understanding for other than... Hold on a second. Hey, intern, chill out. She's an asshole. The proportion and number of like top tier Southern section and non-section teams that you guys play would be the equivalent of Cathedral or Helix football playing like their entire non-league section against the Trinity. Like, it just, these proportions and numbers don't happen in other sports. What is it like trying to make it through a schedule where everybody is a killer whale that you're playing?
I mean, we haven't really had a schedule like this since my freshman year. Mark and I's freshman year. Max didn't go to school with us that year. But I mean, it's one of those things where you just look at it and it doesn't seem like such a titan as you continue to sit there and play through the season. And even though it's been something that, if you ask Dougie, we've had this crazy big schedule for as long as he can remember, and it's nothing we've ever really tried to shy away from, no matter how good or how even sometimes disappointing teams can end up being.
Yeah, to sort of add on to that, I think we also had this schedule my sophomore year too. We could have had it last year because of the COVID stuff, so we only played San Diego teams. But we know we're playing all these really top teams from out of San Diego, and how hard our schedule is. But we know it's only going to get us better in the end, and we got to just grind through the schedule and see what we can do.
So you guys are just saying you're halfway through the season, you're whatever, just take everyone we can get. Let's go, us versus the world. That's the mentality, or is it do you do the cliche one game at a time type thing? Where do you reach a point mentally that how do you guys survive all this? Yep, there we go. Winner, winner.
Winner, chicken dinner. I think for us, it's the guys' understanding of what we're supposed to be doing on a daily basis to make us better. They had a great opening statement. I'm not sure which one of them said it, or they kind of piggybacked it, but the harder teams we play, the better we get. And the better we get, the more competitive we'll be coming down the stretch. And shying away from tougher teams doesn't give us the ability to learn as much as we would want to learn to get better when we have to play the toughest team. I mean, we don't know who will be the toughest team in San Diego this year. Arguably it'd be Cathedral right away.
Is Cathedral or who's the rival for you guys? Is it still La Jolla? Is it Cathedral? Is it Nato? Is it just everyone in league? Is it nobody? You can be honest with me and break my heart. I'll fix that at the line change.
Okay. No worries.
This will be my last question for you three guys. Who's the rival right now? Or at least
I don't think it's a rivalry much for us in the sense of we're I think Coronado and Bishops used to be the rival when I first got there and was for years and years. And then obviously there's the crosstown rivalry with La Jolla, and then Cathedral got really good and they won, I think, 7 out of 9 titles or something. And it became the benchmark. It was Cathedral. I mean, so rivalry, I don't think
it's been you guys in Cathedral recently in a championship too.
Yeah. So, I mean, if someone's trying to make one up for, sports publicity, you would say that. But
you genuinely don't have to have one. I like asking that because I find interesting answers sometimes. The Claremont kids hate Santana. Did not know that was a rivalry until I asked them that. So that's generally why I asked, because you guys could come out here and say we hate modern day Catholic, and I'd be like, that's really random. Please tell me more. I don't see why you would hate them. So
and I think for us more, it's instead of the rivalry or the Celtics, Lakers, or whatever. I think it's more of who's the best team in the county and how hard can we train. If it's not us, to beat them, and then if we are the best team in the county, we better train even harder so no one can beat us. But I think it's respect for all your opponents for the most part.
Deal. You guys.
Except for when I was younger and green was the color that was banned from wearing at our house. And the irony is that me and my brother went to a school called Green Elementary. So couldn't wear that green merch to school.
Makes sense. You guys get anything to add to the rivalry? If not, I would say, can we please request a line change and go get the second half of this squad? We'll talk to. They're all underclassmen, yes? Yep. They're the younger group. All right, well, let's say thank you, guys. We will we'll help with the technical errors here of our studio slowly falling apart. And you guys go grab the remnants. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, boys.
Yep.
Thank you, Dougie.
Somewhere on the couches and or chairs, please. And my apologies for the intern barking at you so much.
You gotta scoot all the way over, Judge, because you and I are sharing the mic. Lucas and Chase are sharing the mic, and Oliver has his own mic.
You guys will figure it out. Big rule is don't move it from the microphone. Move it from the arm, please.
I touched the microphone and dropped it during the interview, so I kind of blew it. So when you go to do it, don't.
So let's go down the line. Name, grade, position, please. Introduce yourselves to everybody out there.
Hi, I'm Justin Stone. I'm a sophomore this year, and I'm playing 4-5 side attacker, and I'm related to Mark Stone, who you just talked to, not Max.
Okay, this is like just a thing that these guys go around identifying whether or not they're related to each other? Is that just a determining factor of this team? Fair enough. Keep going.
It's confused.
I'm Lucas Peabody.
That's not surprising.
I
Much
also-
relation.
I also play 4-5 side attacker with Justin.
And I say that more just out of the look. You two get that a lot. That
I'm old, he's young.
Yeah.
They're both dogs too. I'm Chase Landa.
what that
I'm a
means.
1-2 side attacker. Yeah.
I'm Oliver Price. I'm a junior, and I'm a goalie.
I was gonna say, when are we gonna get to meet which one's the goalie? Always the one that has the very different experience than the rest of the team because you're there just treading water the whole time. Do you do the same conditioning as all of them, or do you get your own set of hellish things to do preseason?
For the most part, it's my own set of
Radical things. Radical is the
yes.
word that you use to mentally handle. What is the depths of Hell Week or whatever it is that you guys have to do under Doug's reign? Or we can blame it on Ian since he's not here.
Yeah. It's Ian.
Deal. Let's blame it on. Tell me. Unleash you. This is the trust tree. We are in a safe space right now. Please let. Yeah. Is there any fun drills or any? What'd you say? Radical.
That's just for our Hell Week. This year was
Best you can do to talk, please, to the microphone.
So this year the Hell Week, I think it was pretty easy. It wasn't terrible. I think my freshman year was definitely a little worse. But I think Ian's taking it a little more easy on us just because we had such a continual season from JOs and back into high school. But yeah, it's still a lot of work, but not as much as my freshman year maybe.
Yeah, I would agree with Chase. It wasn't really that much work, but it was more work than just now that we got into the season. But a week and a half ago, it was much more work than it is now. But we're still working. We've definitely improved a lot over the last 2 weeks in comparison to what I think we've improved much faster than we usually do.
Can I get any specifics? No specifics? Fine. Fair enough. No. We can move.
Well, I think the biggest thing from our Hell Week has been the mental aspect and how Ian drills us to do specific things, and we have to master drive defense or field blocking, and we have to build each of those skills up so we can have develop our game. And I think that's been the biggest focus of Hell Week. And since most of us are in pretty decent shape, it hasn't just been swim us into the ground or drill our legs until they're dead. It's been a lot of focus on the mental aspect of the game, which I think has been really, really good.
Yeah, it might have not been as hard as other years in terms of swimming or leg conditioning, but we're still taking 3 hours a day out of our summer, 6 days a week. So easy's very respective to other days or other years rather. And like Chase said, the mental part is definitely the tough. Waking up every morning, 3 hours when you see everyone else at the beach, out partying, doing whatever, but you're there grinding. It's tough.
So how do you come up with that? How do you mentally make it through that season? What is there a point where if you get through a couple weeks, you can make it through the whole year? If it's just a day by day thing. How do you guys come up with the strength as a team?
I just love water polo.
Just the love of the game, man.
Love the game.
I think for the most part, you see everybody else on your team out there, and so you want to get better for them. You want to get better as a team so that you can prevail in the championship, and you really want to do it for your teammates and for your buddies because you're all doing it together. There's nobody taking days off because they're lazy or whatever. Everyone's in the pool together every day as a team.
Yeah, and I'm just going to add on to that. Bishops is really about legacy. And so you're working hard for not only the boys you're with right now, but for the kids who have graduated and everyone that came before you. And at our practices during Hell Week, we had so many graduating people. Oh, but they came and it was a really fun time. So.
We got a lot of guys that come back and honor the program and help the young guys get better and give them advice and talk to them about what we're doing as far as, training and what they did as far as training and what makes them, better, what made them good. And then they talk about the respect level for the game and for the game, the way it's played at Bishop. So these guys having an opportunity to meet a lot of the alumni guys through the last couple of weeks that have been coming around and giving some advice to the guys has been really good. So really fired up about that. These guys have been going at it, though, like they said. I think we really started last September not knowing we were going to have a high school season. And then all of a sudden, we were fighting all the way till April before we finally started. And then we didn't finish till June 19th. And then some of the guys had practice Sunday morning, and then they're right back in summer. And then they went through Junior Olympics. All these 4 guys played in Junior Olympics. And then here they are at high school. Like it's a grind. They're grinding for sure every day. So they're definitely putting in the work. Like Judge said, they're missing the beach and they're missing the friends and the parties, and because they're committed to the process and the program. So I'm very proud of these guys.
Best beach? Oh, Windansea for sure. Everyone has their different pick. Some people like the shore. Some people are more of like a Torrey Pines, Del Mar guy. But big Windansea fan over here.
You're not about those people?
Oh,
You're not
no,
about that life?
it's very territorial, let me tell you.
So is Windansea Bishop's territory, or am I stepping in the wrong battle here?
I would definitely not go there, but some of us, a lot of the Hoya High guys too. We're all friends outside of the water, but when it gets into the water, obviously very different.
Can't be friends. No way could you be friends inside the water.
Yeah.
You can't be friends with the coaching staff, right? Either once it's inside, once it's on that pool deck. Because you guys are all basically friendly and work together in the off season, yes?
I think Atwell and I over at La Jolla battled for years and years, and now we're pretty close. We did the Julia Garmo game years ago, and
is that coming back this year?
I don't know. He put together the game for her, and it was incredible, and that kind of changed a lot of things for us because my mom passed away from breast cancer, and Tom's beat cancer a few times as his
for
wife.
Everybody that hasn't heard that story, we will reshare that now that you bring that up. We have that in our database on YouTube. I'll make sure that gets reposted.
I think it's pretty cool, and I think that changed a lot. The relationship is like Judge said it the best. Like out of the water, we're all cool, and everybody's loving each other. I mean, some of these guys' best friends play at La Jolla High, like they're all buddies and stuff, and they grew up playing together. But when the whistle blows and it's all go, and then when the horn sounds, it's all hugs and pats on the head and the back, and like let's get it next time, and win or lose, like we're all still friends, and we're all going for the same thing to help the kids have a great water polo experience, and then they're all trying their best to be successful. So,
any of you guys were on the team? None of you guys were on the team last year. You would have been an eighth.
We were all on the team last year.
How awesome is Coach Draz saying, "How about those nights"? Did he do that last year?
Actually, these guys, so Judge and Lucas were you're thinking for us, it's weird because it's 2019, I think you're talking about, because we didn't get 2020, so Coach Draz wasn't there for the final this year.
I was going to say he wasn't there
for these guys' freshman year, but for Chase and for Oliver, I think he was there that year, their freshman year at La Jolla High. So Draz was there. They all know Draz.
That feels like a great thing to be on the receiving end of.
So Brian Wilbur imitated it this year for us. He even said what he was going to imitate.
When he pauses the whole crowd, and he's like, "I got a question for." Oh man, that just gets me going every time. I'm like, that cannot be something that I'm experiencing. Like, I've tried to stand close enough to it that I feel like he's pointing at me. So yes, I won one. But that has to be a great one. So okay, we will get your guys' answer then on that. Hopefully within the next 6 months, if not within the next 2 years. We'll get everybody back in this room to give us a good answer. Really appreciate you guys coming in. Want to just close with this. Who's got control of the aux cable for the team? Who's got the best taste in music? Who's in charge of pregame music? However you want to answer that question. Who's the team's musical and emotional leader?
Well, usually it's the seniors. Last year was Zach Fails for us. But
that's not last year. That's not this year, though.
Really, 2 months ago was Zach Fails, but this year we haven't really gotten to that point. I mean, Ian's been pressuring us to get someone on the aux. It's going to be one of the seniors, but we're just waiting for someone to step up.
Oh, okay. Deal.
I'd say for sure pregame music, it's for sure Garrett. He's got this German house music that really gets us going.
Du hast.
Rammstein. Give it a listen.
Deal.
Yeah.
So if fans just start shouting "Du hast" at you guys this season,
that'll fire us up, sure.
We'll get going.